Welcome to the third layer of the Opticon card deck. This is an advanced layer, and I've already showed you how to use the basic layer and also the fluent layer, where you allow yourself to read the deck except not from left to right, but in an interchangeable way, when you start to get a little bit more familiar and you exercise the muscle. Now, in this third layer of the deck, it's quite an interesting one, and I call it the advanced one for a reason. You would have to have a little bit more knowledge, have done a little bit more research into imagery, symbolism, and have a fair idea and a knack of how these speak to us. Now, you can find this information in the pamphlet included in the Opticon deck, but for now, I would like to remove the first three layers. You will never do this, but I need to do this in order to show you how the third layer, the advanced layer, works. Now, when you've done your spread, the fourth set of cards contains the answer. So the one that you choose is the answer. But when you can look at the Opticon deck from a far more advanced level, you start to understand that the fourth layer, if you have a look through the deck, there's quite a bit of color coding. If writing is in red, or the squares are in green, or the background's in a different color, it's not random and it's not there just for artistic flavor. It's actually color coded very, very purposefully. Now, I'm going to show you the different color-coded elements. I've already sorted them out. I'm going to remove the rest of the deck because I don't need them. And remember, this is always from the fourth set of cards. We have the animals, which are blue with the blue. We have the elementals that have orange. We also have the mythicals, which have green. We have the floral, which has the darker green. We have celestial, which has pink, and of course we have the initiate, which has brown. So all the rest of the cards, other than the guardians and the tree and the first deck, will always have this color coding. Now, the reason we have this color coding is because if you turn to your pamphlet, you will see that each one of these means you can read the deck a different way. So, for instance, if I move to the animal deck, if animal is the fourth card in my pile, it's the fourth one and it's an animal one, I can look at the deck in a simple way. I must just take the message at the core of its meaning, no digging, just in plain sight and easy to see. So often we want to go and look further for other meanings and deeper. The animal card says what you see is what is. Read it for its face value, don't go any deeper. So that's another element to the deck. The second one, which of course is the elemental set of cards, which are the orange, in the pamphlet you'll also see, is that you need to use your knowledge of the four earthly elements to attract the meaning of the message. For instance, any one of the cards that has to do with fire means that the deck is about transformation. If it has to do with water, it's about consciousness, how you focus. Wind, as in this card, is about movement. So the deck will mean there has to be movement. If you read it correctly, you will not be stuck. You can move forward. And of course, the fourth one, which is anything to do with earth or rock or mountain, has to do with grounding. So, for instance, glacier would be frozen consciousness. So when you read the deck from the point of view that your answer card is a glacier, you can also see it as frozen consciousness. And what is frozen consciousness? Frozen consciousness is when you have an idea, you have a consciousness, the way you're thinking, the way you're acting, behaving, and the way you are being, that is stuck. It can't move. So the rest of the deck will help you to gain movement if you change your perspective. The third one, which is the elemental cards, the mythical cards, if the mythical cards are in the fourth place as an answer card, This is where you need to use your imagination to see beyond the earthly planes. You can go off planet for some of your ideas. Often these cards will allow you to discover much more if you open your extra senses to the vast unknown. So don't be surprised if a mythical card asks you to think out of the box, right? Or think like a superhero. The fourth one that we obviously have is the floral cards, and the floral cards are beautiful. I really enjoy them. These cards are mostly directed towards health and wealth and should be viewed as such. In other words, no matter what your spread is, if you have chosen a floral card, think in terms of health and wealth, not in terms of relationship or love or career. Think specifically in terms of those two when you're reading the deck. The fifth one is, of course, the celestial card. Now, if a celestial card is an answer card, these messages can come from another time and place. They can bring a message that is neither of this dimension nor of this world. Be open to seeing through walls and around corners when you see these cards. In other words, you could be receiving a message from a past or parallel life. It could be a message, who knows, from an entirely different solar system. So be open to influences that are not of your current consciousness and belief system. And last but not least, we have, of course, the initiate cards. When you have an initiate card as an answer card, the receiver of these cards is blessed and they are highly regarded. To receive an initiate card is to be touched by the hand of God, or to be awakened to a new level. The sacred chamber also acknowledges the adept's earnest seeking and diligence to truth. It does require another eye or eye to receive this hidden mystery message. So in good spiritual terms, when you've received this, it's a good idea to have an awakened third eye. You're obviously a person at that very moment that is in tune with the initiate or the adept's way of life. You are certainly diligently seeking way past the normal everyday life, and you're in harmony with this. So this is being touched by a master or a guardian or a teacher from the mystery schools. They really want to get this message across to you. So you can see at the third layer of reading the Opticon deck that even the fourth layer, because of the color coding, you can read the entire deck from a whole new point of view. I've seen it in the past where we've read a deck without having a look at what the type of fourth one is. And the minute we tuned into the fact that it was perhaps an elemental card, it changed the reading of the entire deck completely. So it really adds dimension if you can start to bring this advanced layer into reading it. You can always read a deck two ways. You can read it three ways. You can read it normal, basic. Then you can interchange them. And then, of course, you can hone into the answer deck, go look in the pamphlet and go, hang on, this is an initiate card, so I can read it a third way. I hope you have a lot of fun with this. And please give us feedback. And, of course, you know where to go and order the decks. And I'll be back with the fourth one soon. Thank you.